My name is Jack Kirk. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Fridley, and I'd like to welcome you here to this wonderful occasion. We have a few comments from some dignitaries this morning, and then we're going to break ground on this wonderful Springbrook Nature Center improvement project. I'd like to welcome, first of all, our mayor, the mayor of the City of Fridley, Scott Lund.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for attending. There's no more important people than the people that are here listening to me jabber on, so I'll keep it short. I need to welcome some people as protocol dictates, so just wave when I mention your name. Jim Safety, council member, he's here this morning. Thanks, Jim, for coming. Malcolm Mitchell, our chair of the Springbrook Nature Center Foundation. Paul Anderson, architects from Partners in Cerny. Amanda Arnold, architect also from Partners in Cerny. Thanks for coming this morning. See, you've got your displays out, so make sure you take the time, folks, to look at the drawings to see the conceptual reality that will soon be here. Doc Smith, he's our project engineer. Doc, where are you? There he is. Thanks, Doc. He's hard at it. As you can see, they've already broke some ground, so belatedly, we're getting here to do a groundbreaking, even though there's been a little dirt work going on. Split Rock Studios has been in charge of our exhibit design, and Anna, Louie, and Gary are here this morning. Thanks for coming out. Mike Hines is our chair of the Parks and Recs Committee. They've been involved in this from a long ways back. Dave Condrick is chair of our Planning Commission. He's also been involved in this project. Mike Mayer, our current director of Springbrook Nature Center. Mike's right over here. Mike will be speaking in a few moments. And our former director, Saya St. Clair. Saya, thanks for coming out this morning. I noticed he already mentioned that we cut down trees. He was grousing about trees that he planted 35 years ago, and lo and behold, we cut them down. So nothing's forever, I guess, Saya. Fox Advancement, who's been working diligently with the group here to present, to bring to fruition the vision. Kevin Fox, James DeLong, James Hamilton are here. Gentlemen, thanks. Who else do you point? Gary and Christine, thank you. And last but certainly not least, those that have been instrumental as we worked, I don't know how many years we were down at the Capitol, about 8 years total, to get to the state bonding bill. And thanks to Representative Carolyn Lane and Senator Barb Goodwin on their work to getting this thing really to reality. Connie Bernardi, our other representative, it will be here, I guess, but belatedly she's in a meeting right now. So I want to thank all of you for attending today. Today that we mark the reality of what for the last 13 plus years has been a dream, a vision. So out of humble beginnings and thoughts, ideas, is now coming to fruition with this project starting today. We are not finished, though. Never is ending. We still are reaching out to the community and beyond for additional funding to complete the project. What you see the start of today is basically phase one of a two-phase project. Phase one being the largest, the expansion of the building. It's going to be awesome. But we have some other ancillary, secondary phase two project items that are in the works, but we're not quite there with the money. It always boils down to money. So you can have the best ideas, the greatest of vision, but it all comes down to money, folks. So this isn't a pitch for your opening your wallets, but of course we would take any donations at any time. But with that, I want to thank you all again for coming today. And I'm going to give it over to Jack Kirk again, and he's going to introduce your next speaker. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to call up next our Director of Springbrook Nature Center, Mike Mayer.
Thank you, Jack. Well, good morning, everyone. I think I can fairly say on behalf of all the staff here at Springbrook Nature Center that this is almost an unreal experience to see all of this hard work, many 15 years of dreaming and planning coming to fruition. So we are just absolutely thrilled at this prospect. I'd like to start with a little bit of thanks and recognition. This has all happened very, very quickly. Over the course of less than 2 weeks, we've kind of opened our bids and received approval from our city council. And first, I want to really recognize and thank the efforts of our staff, Jan Swanson, Tara Rognes, Curtis Pribula, Miriam Turnbull, for getting everything packed up out of this building and planning a major public event coming up here in a couple weeks. We've got an incredible staff here, so thank you to the staff. My colleagues within the city of Fridley, I really want to thank Jack Kirk. He's been the point person on the city's behalf, and I know from experience that he has put countless hours into this project and has done an incredible job overseeing the project. So thank you, Jack, for your time. I want to thank our city council and committees and commissions. Also want to recognize former director Sia St. Clair for his vision getting us to this point. And almost lastly here, our volunteers. We have some just incredible volunteers that really responded when we were putting out frantic emails. Help, we need to move out of the building in a week. Just some amazing individuals that have come in and given countless hours to allowing us to get to this point. We would not be able to do what we do without our volunteers that serve here and on our Springbrook Nature Center Foundation. So thank you to all those volunteers. Why we're all here today is to break ground on phase 1 of the Spring Project. And over by our architect Paul Anderson there are some plans for the project, and I really would encourage each of you to go over there. Just a quick overview. What we're celebrating right now is as Mayor Lund mentioned, the first phase of the project. So if you take a look on the right-hand side of the middle plans there, you'll see kind of a rectangular shaped building. That's the existing building you see right now. That's going to be remodeled. Everything that you'll see to the left of that is going to be all new construction. So that'll be taking place right here. So that gives you kind of a layout. So that's the first phase of the project. You can also see kind of the overall site plan. And then beyond that, you can see some of the exhibit plans that we have. We've been working with Split Rock Studios to come up with a really dynamic, exciting exhibit package that's really going to engage our visitors, and people are just going to absolutely love what they've come up with. So thanks to architects and the exhibit team for their work in those areas. The second part of this project is also incredibly exciting. We're looking at designing a community amphitheater, nature-based play area, a new picnic pavilion. So in a number of years, when all that comes to fruition, we are absolutely going to be a destination site throughout the metro region and beyond. We will be one of the premier parks and nature centers in the state and beyond. So this is just tremendously exciting. And finally, what it's going to allow us to do. I think all of us here feel a special connection with Springbrook. We've been able to do amazing things with school programs, public programs, impacting the community with a building that we have outgrown 15 years ago. And it is so exciting for us as a staff to be able to dream up all new programs, to be able to come up with new ways to engage the community, new ways to educate students with a facility that will be more than twice the size of our current facility. So additional classrooms, additional exhibits are going to allow us to really do some incredible community building and make an impact on the city of Fridley and beyond for generations to come. So we're just absolutely thrilled for that and excited to move forward. So at this point, I want to thank everybody here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn things over again to Jack to introduce our next presenter. Thank you very much.
The next person I'd like to call up is somebody who has worked on this project tirelessly for 15 years. And he worked on the local level, he continues to work on the local level, and I don't think anybody spent more time at St. Paul trying to help us get this project funded than the chair of the Springbrook Nature Center Foundation, Malcolm Mitchell.
Thank you, Jack. Isn't this a gorgeous delightful day and the beginning of a delightful, wonderful project called the Springbrook Nature Center and the Interpretive Center. Thank you for all coming today. I first got involved in 1999 when my wife Annette, who had been asked to be a member of the board, joined the board at the Springbrook Nature Center Foundation. And shortly after that, there was a task force, or several task forces put together from SIA to talk about what's the future of Springbrook Nature Center and how do we manage the growth that's taking place in the use of the Springbrook Nature Center. And so back in around 2000, subsequent to those kind of effort, we first conceptualized what became known as the Spring Project, or Sanctuary Protection and Renewal into the Next Generation. There were countless meetings and hours spent talking about our mission and what we were talking about and the education we wanted to provide. And out of that, we really are now, 15 years later, beginning the real active part of that. So I want to thank everybody here for coming, but I also want to particularly thank the community as a whole for what it's done to support Springbrook. And first of all, was mentioned that there's a fantastic staff here, but with that staff, there's been over 150,000 visits a year. There's been 278 programs, I think, educational programs this last in 2014. There's been nearly 15,000 students contacts a year at Springbrook, and the result is that this place has grown outside of its present capacity, and we needed this development. I'd like to also just mention that we have a wonderful Springbrook Nature Center Foundation board. I'd like everyone who is here, both current and former board members, to raise their hand and take a round of applause for all of them. They've spent many hours as well on this project, and we really appreciate that. I'm not sure how I get this correctly stationed, but I'd also like to just emphasize that the city has been behind this. We had a bump in the road a few years back in 2004, but since that time, the foundation and Springbrook Nature Center, as well as the city, has really worked in partnership to develop where we are today. And I really appreciate the work that Jack has done in particular, but all the city council. And it was mentioned that I spent a lot of time in St. Paul. Mayor Lund spent a lot of time in St. Paul with me, so I appreciate all the work that he's been, support he's given to this project. I'd also just like to say that we still, with the thanks from the legislators, we did get the $5 million, which you've heard. We are now continuing to try to raise money from the community for private funding for the rest of the project. So again, as Mayor Lund said, we're not here with our handout today, but sort of we are. I've got brochures, and there's some more over the table. We invite you to have a little refreshment after this. But we have the opportunity to contribute your bench or your tree or your paver. And particularly, we also have a sponsored fund for SIA St. Clair, which would be, we hope to put his name on something at the new building after his 35 years of effort. So we hope to, if you haven't had a chance yet, to pick up a brochure and pick up think about a contribution to the Phase 2 part of this project and for continuing this process. It's been a wonderful journey from the beginning till now, and we would continue that journey. I would just call attention that in addition to the donations we've received, we have a number of in-kind contributions and continue to talk with people about in-kind contributions. I think the biggest one that we have to date for this building is Vision Woodworking. Here is community business who has agreed to do all the cabinetry in the building, and so we really appreciate that. We've got Bird Safe Glass, a little different than the Viking Stadium, but the Bird Safe Glass is the etching on the glass has been donated by Viracon Glass. We have others that are in the process of talking with us. I think the office building, thanks to Mayor Lund's contact, the office for the staff over here, it was donated by Hilltop Trailers. So We have a lot of others. The Mickman brothers are talking with us about maybe landscaping. Nothing's settled, but I put them on the spot a bit by saying that. But we hope that that all comes about and it all builds the sense of community for Springbrook Nature Center. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for the opportunity to be here, and this gorgeous day has turned into a gorgeous project.
Thank you, Malcolm. Two more speakers that I'd like to come up and make a few comments, and then we're going to break ground on this wonderful project. Malcolm referenced it, our mayor referenced it. We got a great boost from our legislators over in St. Paul by including us in the bonding bill 2 years ago to the tune of $5 million. Just a tremendous, tremendous boost to this project, and we wouldn't be standing here today without their help. So I'd like to call up Senator Barb Goodwin, and then I'll call up Representative Carolyn Lane. Barb?
Thank you. This is really exciting for me. I started working on this project and trying to get it passed through the legislature when I was in the Minnesota House, Carolyn Lane's current seat. And when we finally got it done 2 years ago now, 2 years ago? Or was it last year? Yeah, 14, that's right. It was only through the help of really Mayor Lund and Malcolm Mitchell were there all the time, and several other board members came, and they lobbied every single legislator on the bonding committees in both the House and the Senate. In fact, so many times that I think one of the reasons we got this project is so we just get off their backs, because we were on their backs for so many years. And the issue was that they had to be convinced that it was a regional, not just a city park, but a regional nature center. And finally, that did happen through the work of a lot of people. So I'm really excited to watch this project go on. I'm really impressed with the community as a whole for the donations that they have given to the center and all the help we've gotten from our businesses in both Fridley and other places. And I just want to thank everybody, every single person that has done something towards this project is making it possible. And for years to come, you can look at it and you can say, I did that. I helped with that. And that's very important to our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barb. And now I'd like to bring forth Representative Carolyn Lane.
It's good to be here. It's good to see the heavy equipment over there, and what a sight to see heavy equipment back here behind the building. It's underway. I came in the legislature in 2007, and we got to work on this. I remember Mayor Lund and Saya and Malcolm and Donna and others repeatedly going to hearings, convincing them that this was regional and important. We finally got that done. We were vetoed a couple of times, line item vetoed in the bill. We finally got it in there so much in the heart of the bonding bill that we didn't even have to have hearings at the very end. They just loved us. So we got it done. We got it done, and here we are. It's just incredible, and I bow to all the people who have done such good work on this. Thank you very much.
Okay, now's the moment when we're going to have Brian. You ready with the camera? All right, this is the photo op. Malcolm, can you come forward? And Scott, Mike Hines. Mike, Mayor. Barb, can you come forward? Jim Safety. Where's Saya? Saya, can you come forward?
The head goes with my
Dave, Condon?
doesn't it? Blends well. Maybe I should make it look more realistic. Take the jacket off, huh? Roll up the sleeves. And make sure you throw it out that way. 2, 3.
Yay!
We've been shoveling for a long time.